The big cheese. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hope all of you are having a fantastic Friday, a great Friday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. Let's see, I'm not gonna mess with it too much. Yeah. Well, I guess y'all get a little sneak peek. Added a skeleton to the man cave. Hey, don't say Matt doesn't put an effort when it comes to the decoration. Got the eyes and whatnot. We gotta give him a name. Let me know in the comment section. Yeah, I thought that was a nice little touch. Went good. Fits good in the seat. But that is besides the point. That's good, man. That's real good. There's a lot I want to talk about. So last week, we made a video similar to this, where it was a message to Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt. We just talked about the Vanderbilt game a little bit on Friday after the preview and whatnot. Seemed like you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Maybe this is a new series on the channel. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see more videos like this, where it's not we're all screaming and I'm hooting and hollering like, oh yeah guys, this is what you gotta look forward to on the preview. We gotta do this, that. No. It's not all that. It's chill. It's morning coffee with Matt. Get you a nice cup of coffee, nice cup of joe. Sit back, relax, drink it while I drink mine, and just let's enjoy each other's company. Let's talk some ball. Just a chill video. That's the vibes I'm at least hoping it gives off. Not gonna scream. Well, let me stop myself, because if I get worked up, we all know what can happen. If you know, you know. You never know what can happen if I get rallied up. Ain't that right, whiteboard? It's right. So, similar to the I saw something. Vanderbilt game, I'm pretty worried. I'm more worried about this one, if you want me to be honest. More worried about Missouri. Alabama at home is undefeated under Kalen DeBoer. This isn't some conspiracy theory by your boy Maddie. This isn't some hot take or opinion. It's a fact. Alabama is literally undefeated at home with Kalen DeBoer. Nothing to be worried about. I'm not worried about Alabama at home. 10-0. Speaks for itself, right? The road's a different story. I don't want to say it's for some odd and unknown reason, because we know what it is. Alabama's just not what they once were. On the road, at least. When Nick Saban was there, let's take a trip down memory lane. Growing up, from 2007 up until whenever Saban retired, I never worried about Alabama football, not even to the slightest. Didn't care who we played on Saturday. It could have been the New England Patriots. I'm being dead serious. Wouldn't have cared. Wouldn't have cared. Because I knew Nick Saban was going to have our guys ready to go. I knew the coaching staff was going to have our guys ready to go. There was just nothing to be worried about. Long story short, what this new Alabama football team with this new head coach, Kalen DeBoer, who I do support fully, there's a lot to be worried about. We have went back to what most teams fall victim to. So the reason Nick Saban's the greatest of all time is because most college teams are good at home. Why is that? Because you're comfortable. You get to sleep in your own bed before the game. You run out the tunnel. Like, it's a home. You know what a home game entails. Whether you're in college, the NFL, high school, middle school, if you play at home, you're probably going to win. Or you got a better chance of winning compared to playing on the road. Playing on the road, there's so many variables that get involved. The travel, be a little sluggish. The pregame meal, it may be different. You don't get to sleep in your bed, so you may not get a good night's rest. You're uncomfortable. That's the point. You're not used to that environment. Then you get out there on the field. We haven't even talked about the home field advantage when it comes to the fans screaming. They're hooting and hollering. You feel like the refs are against you. All these different things. But for Alabama, it really didn't matter because they were so prepared, even being on the road, it wasn't going to stop a Nick Saban-led team. Well, with Kalen DeBoer, it has been the complete opposite. And it's not even just against ranked teams. I guess if you're a Bama fan, you could argue and say, well, Matt, I'd actually be more concerned if we were playing an unranked team. That's crazy to say, but it's reality. It's the truth. Kalen DeBoer has just failed to beat the teams he's supposed to beat. It's not like he's been going on the road. For those of you that don't know his record, he's 3-4. Let me give you some context. On the road. Even with the great win against Big Bad Georgia on the road. Because I know some of my Bama fans are going to be sitting there saying, Matt, this is a stupid video. Why are you making this? Dude, we beat Georgia. Calm down, dude. If we went into Athens, Georgia, why should we be worried about Missouri? Dude, that's like saying, oh, well, Matt, I ate one apple today. That means I should be getting fit, right? Well, no. If you ate 6 cookies per day the past week or 6 or 7 days, no, one apple on a Sunday isn't going to outweigh the 6 cookies per day you was eating Monday through Saturday. Does that make sense? Same thing here. You can't look at Kalen DeBoer winning one road game and go, okay, Alabama's a good road team now. No, that's not how it works. Alabama has to consistently be a good road team for me to sit up here and say we're a good road team. You have to consistently eat apples, eat healthy for you to get in shape. It's not rocket science. I'd say Alabama has to have a good record against road teams this year and the entirety of next year before I get up here and say, okay, Kalen DeBoer is good on the road. We know he's good at home, hasn't lost. That speaks for itself. On the road, different story. And it's not even just winning or losing. It's the team not being prepared. You go into Vanderbilt last year. I'm not going to get started. You lose to Vandy. Wasn't prepared. You give up a 40 burger, with all due respect, to the nerds. You then go to Tennessee. You wasn't ready for that one. Tennessee had 3 first-half turnovers. We couldn't score, couldn't do anything. You then go into Oklahoma, and you put up 3. Sure, the Ryan Williams touchdown got called back. That's whatever. It doesn't matter. You still would have lost by 14. You weren't prepared. You weren't prepared on offense versus Oklahoma. You weren't prepared on defense versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma only put up 24, but here's a fun fact for you. You couldn't stop them. You couldn't stop Jackson Arnold from running the ball down your throat, just like Diego Pavia. Not prepared. That's what's concerning. That's what's worrisome. Would Alabama in their prime beat the New England Patriots in their prime? No. But as a fan, I still wouldn't be concerned and worried heading into a matchup because I know our players are going to give their best effort. Everybody's going to be prepared. The team's going to play to their best ability. With Kalen DeBoer's teams, if you look at recent history, this year and last year combined, you don't know what you're going to get. They're 3-4. Heck, you've seen it this year. Did you see how they looked against Florida State? Abysmal. Florida State already has 2 losses now. It is worrisome. It is troublesome. Let's get into the next point. Outside of just stating the obvious, I mean, if you're a Bama fan, you can vouch for me, you know. We ain't been good on the road. That alone is something to be talked about for 20 or 30 minutes and to get worked up about. I think you get the point there. Let's talk about the other thing that worries me heading into this game of matchup. Ahmad Hardy, one of the best running backs in the country. There's no denying that. He's a Heisman candidate. Some may say a Heisman frontrunner. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not mad at that. He's averaging 7 yards a carry, 700 yards already on the season. He is an excellent running back. Missouri, here's a fun fact for you, is averaging 292 rushing yards per game. That's a lot. Granted, their strength of schedule is 109. They haven't really played anybody. But 292 is 292. They're a good running team. They're going to try to run the ball down Alabama's throats. Alabama, on the flip side, you really can't say, well, Matt, we got a good rushing defense. No, we don't. We're averaging, or better way of saying is we're allowing 160 rushing yards per game. That's not atrocious, but also not very good. Especially when you take into account Alabama's been winning in a majority of their games, so most teams have been playing from behind and having to pass a bunch. You did hold Vandy to, I think it was like 7 rushing yards in the second half. The thing that Alabama just cannot do in this game is allow the chunk plays. I go back and forth with myself on this. So you can say, well, Matt, outside of the chunk plays, and this is true, but you can't say it at the same time, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. Well, Matt, outside the chunk plays the Bama rushing defense allows, they have a good rushing defense. Yes, but you can't do that. I mean, that's just like, it's flawed logic. You can't say, oh, well, if you take away those 5 plays where Alabama lost contain on the Georgia quarterback or running back, Alabama had a really good performance on defense last night. It's like, what? No, you can't take away the 5 plays. They happen. Same thing in the Vandy game. Alabama had 2 plays, really, that should have been touchdowns. One of them, I don't know whether it was a safety defense. I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know if it was Bray Hubbard's fault. I'm not going to blame anybody. I just know somebody missed their assignment. The running back had a wide open hole. There was no safety or defense back there. Hit the hole and boom. Took it 65 yards to the house. There was one. You then had another instance where another chunk play. It was on the next drive. Pavia, it was almost like the same thing. Runs right up the gap. And if Pavia wasn't slow as a turtle and ran a 6'4", 40-yard dash, he would have took it to the house and it would have been 14-0 Vanderbilt. That's 2 plays alone. Outside of that, Alabama was pretty good at stopping the run against Vandy, but you really can't say outside of that. You can't go, oh, outside of a few plays against Vandy, outside of a few plays against Georgia, outside of a few plays against Florida State. No, that's just who Alabama is. It's not like it's a one-time thing. They do it every single game. The thing is, against Missouri, you do that. Ahmad Hardy's going to take it to the house, and here's the thing. I much rather Alabama's defense allow 4 yards of carry, 5 yards here, 7 yards here, 8 yards there, 3 yards there, 2 yards there. Make Missouri have some monotonous 18-play, 80-yard drive where they milk 10 minutes off the clock, but they don't break off a chunk play. Would it kind of be demoralizing? Yeah, but at least you make them work for it. I'd much rather you make Missouri go 18 plays, or not even 18, that's kind of high. Let's say 13, 14, 15 plays, then like Vanderbilt did, 3 plays, 75-yard drive, 65-yard rushing touchdown. Something like that. Because you don't even make them work for it at that point. And here's the thing. If you make somebody go on a 15-yard or a 15-play drive, they're going to have a false start. They're going to have a holder, and they're going to get set back. But when you're giving up these huge plays, that's not going to happen. It's just quick and easy points. That's something we got to work on. Hopefully, we don't allow Hardy to break off a big one. If I had to give you my best educated guess, he's going to break off a couple of 20-yarders, 30-yarders. It's just how many. Is it going to be 1? If you allow one or even two 20 or 30-yard runs, think you're going to fare out pretty good. But if you allow 5 to 6 of those, and on just those 5 rushes, he gets 125, 150 yards, it ain't going to be looking good for Alabama. I hate to sit up here and say, because I think it is cliche, oh, well, if Alabama holds them to under 150 yards, they'll win the game. Although I say that in some of my videos. It is cliche because it's like, well, no crap, dummy. You can make that argument for any team. Hey, if Missouri holds Ty Simpson to under 200 passing yards, they'll win. Well, duh. Of course, that's like saying, well, hey, if Alabama holds Missouri to less points than Alabama, Alabama should win the game. No crap, Sherlock Holmes. We have got to contain the run. I don't even, look, notice how I didn't say we got to stop it. We got to contain it. We have got to contain it. As far as it goes for everything else, we're going to be fine. Am I worried about Bo Pribula? With all due respect, no. He's not some Heisman contender. He's not going to beat you through the air. He's not. If he does, I'll tip my cap to him. On offense, you probably noticed I haven't talked about it too much. There's nothing to be said. Missouri's in for a world of hurt. It's going to be bad for him. You can't stop the perfect pick and roll. Can't do it. Can't do it. In this analogy, it's Ty Simpson and that Alabama wide receiver corps. Good luck to the Missouri secondary. You just can't stop it. You can't stop the perfectly ran route and the perfectly thrown football. Good luck. That's all I know to say. And hey, Missouri may stop Alabama's rushing attack, but we know this. We're halfway through the season. Alabama's not a rushing football team. We know our identity. That's the cool thing about the Alabama offense. Last year, we never found our identity. We switched it up multiple times. It was at the end of the year we were still switching. Are we going to be a running team with Milroe, or are we going to try to run with the running backs? Are we going to be a passing? You didn't know. This Bama team knows our identity. We're going to give Ty Simpson the ball and clear out. This is his team. Offense is big chillin', big chillin'. Why did I do that with my hand? Defense, well, we got some problems. I'm not too worried about like the, what would you call it? The atmosphere. Because you go into Athens, Georgia, that's a much tougher atmosphere, especially at night. Georgia hates Alabama. Players should be ready to go. You can't even say this is a trap game. I've had so many people say, well, Matt, this is a trap game. This is a trap game. Yada, yada, yada. Trap game? What are you talking about? Missouri's undefeated. They're a top 15 team. 11 a.m. kickoff. I'd say that fares out a little bit better for Bama than Missouri because your sorority and frat bros, they're not going to be hot. Hey, they're probably not going to be awake at 11 a.m. They're just going to be hungover from the night before. I think this Bama team should be ready to go. Hopefully we got to a good start. Many more things I could say. We're going to end it off here. Let me know your thoughts down below. But